We're thinking about relocating to the Central Valley of California. This is a video that you should watch. Why? Because we are in one of the fastest growing master planned, most affordable communities in all of California. There are probably more than 30 floor plans available out here for new construction homes, and we're gonna walk you through two of them today. First one is a NextGen suite. So if you have an elderly parent or someone moving in with you, or you're looking for an income opportunity, this should be one to consider. The next one though is a 5-bedroom single story home, 2,500 square foot, and you're not gonna believe the price when we get to that later in the video. These models, by the way, just opened up last week, so no one has hardly even seen these things yet, so you guys are in for a treat today. Let's dive in and have a look. All right, so I want you to see the outside of these things because they're actually really pretty houses. They're doing some nice stonework on these. They've got kind of that little bit of an upscale feel. So let me show you what they look like. All right, so the first one we're gonna see is this one right here. Not a bad looking house at all. The second one though is right over there. That is the 5-bedroom big brother to the one we're gonna see. It is not NextGen, but it does have 5 bedrooms and it is a single story. So we're gonna come back to that later. But for now, let's focus on this first one, all that it has to offer, and let's decide which one's best for you. That's gonna be the hardest thing for you to decide probably, which one of these two you like better. All right, so we've got a 2-car garage on both of these. Similar in that way. As far as fit and finishes go, they're very similar. Same kitchen cabinetry, same floors, all that stuff is pretty consistent throughout both of the homes we're gonna see today. So we're not gonna spend too much time talking about that kind of stuff. You'll see it as we go. But I do want you to see the floor plans. See, I love the brick on the front of that one over there. Super pretty house. So this one is a 3-bed, 3-bath, all right, 2280, I think, square foot house. This right here is the door for the mother-in-law setup, the NextGen setup. All right, and then down this way is the main front door. So it is kind of off the street a bit. Here's all your, I'm surprised all that stuff is right by the front door, to be honest. The water main and the sprinklers and all that, right by the front door. Anyways, let's step in and have a peek. All right, so let me spin it around this way and give you some perspective. So we just walked in the front door, all right, nice arches in this home, it's beautiful. All right, we've got the 8-foot front door. This home comes standard with the 9-foot ceilings. You get the blinds that you see hanging there. So for those of you that don't know, there's a new code. So if the home you buy comes with blinds like this, they cannot have the string anymore that hangs here. They've got to be the ones like this that you can just push up like that. And then when you're done, you pull them back down like that. I think that's a choking hazard for children. And so there's a new rule saying that if the house comes with blinds, they've got to be cordless. So just a little fun fact that may or may not matter to you, but it's something, so I thought I'd share. Anyways, so let's just step in this way, actually. We come in the door, you kind of walk right into the kitchen. There's not much of an entryway in this home. You kind of step right into the kitchen, which actually I like. The kitchen looks pretty nice. You got a very nice sized island. Now, what do you guys think of the two-tone cabinetry? We've got basically, I don't know if it's almost black. It might be a very dark, like espresso brown. Yeah, this is like dark, almost black. And then we've got brown cabinetry here. So it's got the two-tone look. Do you like that or not really? I'm curious what you guys think of that. Let's see. So they're not soft close, but that's all right. Good sized kitchen though, you know, it's not bad at all. We've got a nice backsplash. It goes up to the height of the hood. Let me show you some kind of up close stuff going on. So there's no gas to this home. It's all electric, as you can tell by the electric range. All right, it looks pretty nice. Not sure how you feel about it. This is considered the pantry, kind of. And I'll tell you what I mean by kind of here in a second, okay? So one thing I do like on this house is the microwave is down there versus up here. I like that you have a hood, it looks fancy. One thing though is I have a daughter who is about 15 months and she would be pushing all those buttons all the time. So if you have little ones roaming around, that's just not a deal breaker, but something that I'm seeing as an observation from a perspective of a dad. All right, now we have a really nice sized living room and dining room. It is kind of square, so you don't have a lot of separation for a table and a living room. It's like you're all in one space, which is the case with a lot of the new construction homes right now across the board amongst all the builders. That's pretty common. And it's a pretty good sized space, but what do you guys think? I'm curious, let me know. So here's your backyard. This is probably somewhat of an accurate size. It just depends. I've seen lots bigger than this and I've seen lots smaller than this. It really just depends on the floor plan and the specific home site. So we can talk about that. If you want a bigger yard, it's possible to make that happen. Don't be discouraged or encouraged by the size of this yard, okay? Something really cool is that they've done vaulted ceilings in here, which I'm not seeing too much these days. A lot of the homes, they're flat. This has got vaulted ceilings. So I mentioned they're 9 feet at the lowest point. That's probably maybe like 11 feet up there at the peak. Not sure exactly how high that is, but looks pretty good. All right, I love this wraparound counter here. I think it looks really cool. The floating shelves and the wraparound counter is really cool. You could put your coffee pot right here. I don't know, I see doing like a birthday party here. You could put like cupcakes over here. Who knows, right? Do whatever you want, but it's nice. It looks really good. I think it's really cool. Okay, this is not technically like meant to be the pantry, I don't think, but it is close enough to the kitchen. You know, you've got your kitchen. This is close enough to the kitchen where you could totally make this a pantry. This series of homes by this builder, I don't think you typically get the walk-in pantry, but in this case, this could be your linen closet, or it could be used as a pantry, just depending on what you prefer and what would benefit you more. I would use it as a pantry because that's just, I like a pantry, that's just me, you know, but you could do whatever you want. And then, let's see, this is the primary suite, so it's kind of separate from, we haven't even seen the front of the house yet, right? That's where the other rooms are at in the in-law suite. But let's go this way and see what we think. So this is a nice size room. It's really a good size. It's big, comes with a fan, all right? One thing I wanna mention really quick, guys, is this particular builder, what you see is what you get, okay? So there's no, like, they show you the decked out house full of upgrades, but you're not getting that. What you see in the house is actually what it comes with, okay? They're very good about that. So if you see blinds, you get blinds. If you see a microwave, you get a microwave. Other builders, you know, they like you to select upgrades and stuff. They'll show you the totally decked out one, and then they'll advertise the base price, and then you gotta figure out somewhere in between what works for you. But this is very straightforward. What you see is what you get, okay? So that's good. So they've routed this. This is called a Smurf tube. They've routed this for your TV cables. If you like a TV in the bedroom, you can mount it there and plug it in down here. You know, all your stuff, and then you've got no cable action. Let's see what they did. Oh, they got shelving in the closet. That's cool. All right, a lot of these lights like this are motion sensor timers. So if you walk in here in the middle of the night, the light will most likely flip on. Okay, not a bad sized closet. I mean, I think it would work for the average person. I think it's plenty of space. You got all the shelves there for your shoes and purses and whatever. It's cool. One thing, guys, I want to mention, what's been happening is people are watching all of our videos, binge watching the channel, which is crazy, by the way. I don't think we're that exciting to watch. But anyways, they go out to the models after watching the videos. They try to be courteous of our time, which we greatly appreciate. But then they call me up, say, hey Casey, we've narrowed it down to like 3 houses. Can you help us out, make the deal work? If you guys happen to do that, it's very difficult. It's kind of difficult to make that work with me being a part of the deal, helping you at that point, because the builder wants to basically not deal with compensating agents. So if you reach out to the builder, they're gonna say, well, your agent was not here from the beginning, so you're not gonna bring someone in at the 11th hour and have them represent you and we pay for it. So if you do like these homes, even if you're thinking about maybe considering a new home in the future, let me know, shoot me a text, let's do a video call, let's get acquainted. It's very pain-free, it's not a stressful thing. It's like a maybe 10, 20-minute video call that might turn to 45 minutes if we click, you know? But it lets us get your information set up with the builder so we can work with you and get you the best deal on the house. I've seen crazy deals happening on some of these guys, better than what they advertise. So let me know, reach out to us and let us help you there. Okay, let's keep going. Let's check out this master bath. Okay, so we've got counter space. These sinks are kind of close. Not a bad thing, not a good thing, just what it is. I feel like you're gonna be bumping elbows if you're both brushing teeth at the same time. Not a big deal though. You've got your counter space on the ends. Same cabinetry that we saw in the kitchen. There's no tub in this home, but we do have a tiled shower, which looks pretty nice, and that's kind of cool down there, what they've done. It's not bad at all. I love the black. The black looks really cool. Here's your toilet in this space right there. All right, same motion sensor lights and fan and all that stuff. All right, it's very bright. One thing I'll mention in this house is it is very bright. For anybody who likes to live in a bright setting, this is a perfect house because it's very bright. In fact, I think it's brighter in person than it's even appearing in the video, because the video is trying to compensate for the lighting or something, but it's quite bright in here. All right, I think the best way, I can go that way, but I think the best way to do this is for me to take you back to the front door. Okay, so we came in there, of course, right? And we're gonna go this way now. So we've got our kitchen, okay? We're gonna go this way, and this is where the rest of the house is at. So we are currently in the main house, all right? We're in the main house, guys. We're gonna finish the main house, then we'll see the NextGen. Okay, we've got our coat closet right there. Very nice. See, you could almost use this as a linen closet if you wanted. You've got that, you've got your coat closet, and then the other closet off the kitchen could be a pantry because of that. So you get the washer and dryer with these, all right, just like you see, front loaders. You've got a nice shelf right up there. Oh wow, this is actually more space. They utilized it very well. Cool. Guess what that's for, guys? That's an outlet, but why is it right there? Put it in the comments below. It's for your ironing board. You can iron right here in the laundry room and plug your iron in. That's what that's for. And you've got your communications box over here with all of your, I think it's Cat 5. I'm not too techie when it comes to that stuff, but all your Ethernet, internet stuff is in that communications box. All right, you get the 2-car garage. It's right through this door. We can't get in there, unfortunately, but it's just your basic 2-car garage. It comes drywalled, not painted or textured, but drywalled. Pretty standard. All right, this right here is the second bathroom of the house. We saw the one in the primary suite. We're now looking at the second one. We've got a nice sized vanity with good counter space, 1 sink, and we've got the shower tub insert combo setup here. Okay, pretty decent setup. All right, not bad at all. The second bedroom is this one here. We saw the primary, this is bedroom number 2. All right, it's actually not a bad sized room. It's bigger than average. Okay, what do you guys think? Pretty normal sized closet over there. All right, so in the main house, you have the primary and you have one bedroom outside of that. So there's really only 2 bedrooms in the main house. The third bedroom is the bedroom in the NextGen suite that we're gonna go into right here. It's right down here. It's always interesting to think, okay, who were they thinking of when they designed this particular floor plan? And it's hard to say, you know, I think it's for somebody who maybe does have that elderly parent moving in at a later stage in life. You know, maybe they've got their primary bedroom, the homeowner, you know, maybe they're, I'm not sure which age, it doesn't really make any difference, but let's say they're kind of empty nesters, you know, they got their room back over here on the other side, the primary that we saw. You know, maybe they have one like adult child, you know, 19, 20-year-old kid going to college or something who's staying in this room, the other kids are out of the house, and maybe the elderly parent is moving in at that point in life and they want their own space. There's not a lot of bedrooms. If you have like 3 kids living at home and an elderly parent, this house wouldn't work for you, it'd be too small. So in the case I just mentioned, this would probably work. Or if you're a single individual living by yourself, you know, maybe you're a nurse or something at Valley Children's, which is just 5 minutes from here. Maybe you're renting this out to someone you work with or something. That could be an option too. So let's check it out though. All right, so down there to the left is the front door. We just walked down that hallway. All right, we're entering the NextGen suite. All right. So this is a 3/4 bath. We've got a sink, a toilet, and a tub. I'm sorry, a shower. There's no tub, which would be the 4th quarter. So we've got 3 out of 4. So it's a 3/4 bath. It looks nice. For the elderly parent, having the step-in shower plus a bench is probably ideal. So I've heard that many times from many clients, so that's good. Very consistent cabinetry and flooring is the rest of the house. This is the NextGen suite bedroom. I would say it's same size as the other bedroom. All right, it's routed for a TV over there as well. So this window looks right out to the front walkway here. So the front door is right out the window here. So if you want to scare people trick-or-treating on Halloween, which I'm not saying I recommend it, but if you do want to do that, this would be a perfect house, perfect room to do it from right here. You could like stand here and do your thing. All right, this is actually a walk-in closet, which I was surprised to see. So this is the NextGen suite. All right, let's keep on trucking. All right, we got a floating shelf. It looks really fantastic. Same cabinets, another microwave. Good sink, stainless steel. We have a garbage disposal down here as well. So that's nice. We've got shelving down here. This is good. And then there's room for actually what looks to be a full-size fridge here, believe it or not. I can measure that if it matters, but that appears to be a full-size fridge. It's very wide in person, and yes, it would work. And then this is like their main entrance into their living quarters, okay? That comes right in from the outside, which we passed by when we first entered into the home. You could set this up as a living room and then even a little dining room or something. You could even put a little table over here, a little, 2-person table or something to eat dinner. And then you could do your living room, and then of course they expect you to hang your TV over here with the pre-routed tubes and everything for your cables again. But I like the arch. I like that it's consistent with the rest of the house. It's a very pretty setup. So there's a lot to like on this house, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, do you need a NextGen house? Do you even care about NextGen, or after seeing it, do you wish you would have just fast forwarded to the next house? Because the next house we're gonna see is really cool. So the next house is a 5-bedroom home. There's a lot to like on that home as well. We're gonna head over there right now. We're gonna exit this house and we're gonna head next door because, I don't know, in terms of resale, that's always a thing. I tell people, I've got some clients who I will mention the school district to, and oh, I don't care about the school. I don't have kids, I don't care about the school. You know, maybe our kids are already grown. But you know, that stuff maybe doesn't matter as much, but it still matters, just because resale, depending on what market we're in, when you decide to sell the house later, you know, let's say life happens and in 5 or 10 years you're reselling the home unexpectedly. You want to be in a desirable spot with a good school district, you know, good features in a home where it's not too funky of a floor plan, where you could offload it relatively easily if that were the case. So we can talk more about all that stuff later, but let me show you really quick where we are today on the map. We'll touch on amenities briefly. We've got plenty of other videos on all that stuff, and then we'll dive into the second 5-bedroom single story home and check that one out. All right, let's take a second. Let's go to the map. Let me show you where we are today, and then we'll get right back into that second house here in a few minutes. You're not going to want to miss it because it is a single story 5-bedroom house priced extremely well. Let's check out the map. All right, so here we are. Those of you who have not been following the channel for very long, we typically like to do a little map section in our videos. So this is California, of course. San Francisco is up north, Los Angeles is down south, and the Fresno, Clovis, Madera area is all a part of the Central Valley of California, which is right here in the heart of the state. All right, so this discolored area, let me change this. This right here is Fresno, all right, Fresno and Clovis, Fresno County. The city of Madera is way up here, all right, a few miles northwest. We're not even in the actual city of Madera. We're in Madera, well, I guess it is the city of Madera, but we're way over here, which is about 5 minutes north of Fresno, California, guys. All right, so even though these homes are being built in a Madera zip code, you are much closer to Fresno than you are to Madera, the actual town of Madera. All right, we are right here today. All right, the homes we're seeing are out here. There's lots of stuff going on out here. Let me show you kind of what's around here, though. So we've got Valley Children's Hospital right here. This community is just west of Highway 41, which is a main thoroughfare, north and south, going from basically, if you want to get to Yosemite, you just stay on 41 north, and then in an hour from now or so, you get to the gate of Yosemite. So that will take you all the way through to Yosemite or south of Fresno, through Lemoore, Hanford, all of that stuff. And then you can get to Pismo Beach by hitting Highway 46. South of here quite a ways, it's not too far. Speaking of that, the nearest coast is about 2.5 hours. It would either be Pismo Beach or Monterey Bay. They're close enough to make a day trip if you choose to do that. It's a lot of fun to just take a day trip over there, get up early, head out, and then, you know, stay for sunset and then get back at a decent time. So it's nice that we live close enough to a couple of different coasts to where that's possible. Also, you can be to the snow if you like going skiing and stuff in the mountains in about an hour during the winter seasons. You can be there in about an hour. That's pretty cool. There's a nice hamburger place called Hungry Hut up in Shaver Lake that my wife and I not frequently, but a couple times a year, we'll take a drive up there, get a hamburger and a milkshake. Super bomb, by the way. All right, so there's a lot of stuff here. There's several lakes around the area. Millerton Lake is very, very close. That's probably your closest lake. It's about 20 minutes from Riverstone, which is where we are today. All right, so lots of stuff to love and like about the community. There is a Dutch Bros Coffee. There's a Me and Ed's Pizzeria. Let me zoom it in and I'll show you just all that's here so far. Right here at the corner, all right, we've got a Menchie's Yogurt. We've got a Judy's Donuts. We've got a Blast and Brew. We've got Fresh Fill, which is like a juice and smoothie bar, and a little grocery store. Honestly, that grocery is a little tiny. It's not even a grocery store. They sell groceries, but it's very like more of a convenience store. It's kind of expensive, honestly. Like if you're in a pinch and you need some butter, then cool, go there and get butter. But you're not going to go there and shop for the week. Probably there's many other stores close by that are much more affordable. Speaking of that, though, there is a Rayleigh's grocery store going in out here, supposed to be breaking ground in 2026, as well as a Tractor Supply, both of which are going to be in this green area here at the corner of Avenue 12 and Highway 41. There's another elementary school that is going in out here. They've already broken ground on that as well. So lots of infrastructure, including a fire station. that will support and increase property values in years to come. So it's a good investment. And then of course, as mentioned in many of our other videos, we have a resort style pool. We've got a nice gym, a dog park, a clubhouse with fire pits. Let me see, sorry, I think I went too far. Here we go, right here. This is the lodge, Lodge 1. All right, look at the pool, it's pretty nice. We got a kiddie pool and an adult pool. Lots of cabanas, you can rent those things out, reserve them if you wish. There's a water feature out here you can sit around. There's an amphitheater with a green area that is commonly used for outdoor events. Super Bowl, it was streamed out there on a projector this year. You can go out there, interact with your neighbors and your community and be a part of that. So one other thing, the next upcoming yard sale, there's 2 a year out here in Riverstone. The next one is October 4th and 5th. So twice a year, the community comes together, drags out all their treasures, if you will, and puts them out here for a few bucks, and you can go around and shop and sell some stuff, and it's kind of a fun community event. So anyways, hopefully that's helpful, gives you a little bit of backstory on Riverstone. We do have other videos linked to the community and what all that it includes, so check those out. But for now, let's dive right back into the second house. Let's show you this amazing house, and we'll tell you why it's a deal here shortly after that, and then we'll get into pricing later, guys. All right, so we are walking over next door to the next house that we're gonna show you guys. It's worth considering. Really, it's good to come out here open-minded. When you reach out to me and we set up homes to see, it's good to come out here completely open-minded, because you just never know. You'd be surprised at how many times people tell me they're not interested in a certain type of house or something, and then they end up buying something completely different. I've had people tell me they want 2 acres and they wind up buying a condo, and just different things, So sometimes people say, oh, we're in the early stages, we're just thinking about making a move, we don't actually know exactly what we want, we don't want to waste your time. It's not a waste of my time, guys. I mean, I'm here to help you explore the journey together, because that's what I do. I help people find the right house and make the right move and make sure that it's the right thing for them and the family. And I'll give recommendations. At the end of the day, do what you want, but I'll tell you what I think if you guys care to hear it. I've got a client I've been working with for 2 years. We've been looking at houses for a couple of years, and we've actually been in escrow a couple of times, and then she has chosen to back out because it wasn't the perfect fit. And it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's not like I expect anybody to call me today, buy a house tomorrow, and move on. It's not necessarily like that. It's a long-term thing, So if you're thinking of making a move in 2026 or 2027, whatever, reach out to me. We'll set up a plan and we'll kind of start looking at things. I'll keep an eye out for things. And it's a process, right? You're not buying a blender where you're gonna run down to, Target and pick one up and come back in an hour. This is the process, and it takes a lot of time and research and effort to make sure it's the right move. And our job's to guide you guys through that process. So let us help you out. Let's just get into this one. You're gonna wanna see it. I'm talking, you wanna see it. Let's just dive in. All right, I like the stone. I said that earlier when I briefly shined the camera this way, but isn't that a pretty looking house, like with all the stonework and everything? I think it is, but that's just my personal opinion. Everyone's got everyone's got their own preferences and everything, but I think it's pretty. I like the stone. It gives it some character, which sometimes can be scarce in newer construction homes. So it's a really pretty looking house here, guys. All right, I've got it opened up for us. Let's step on in and have a peek. Look at that. Isn't that a huge walkway? It's insane, right? It's a 5-bed, 3-bath, 2,589 square feet, almost 2,600 square foot house. Let me get us in here and then I will show you. All right, we're walking in. It looks really good so far. The front of the house is very symmetrical. I noticed that. Look at that. It's like a mirror image on the left and the right, So we came in there. Right here is bedroom number 1. Okay. 1 of 5, guys. 1 of 5. It's got a closet. It's an actual bedroom, not a made up makeshift bonus room bedroom thing. Actually a bedroom with a closet and a window. Now the entry ceiling height, by the way, that looks to be about 10 feet in this house. You can see it drops down right there. So this is all 9 through here, but the entryway is 10, okay? Second bedroom is right here. I want to say it's exactly the same size. Very, very similar. Both of these rooms look out to the front, so that's cool. All right, either one would make a fantastic office if you do work from home or need a space. And then we've got bathroom number 1 right up here, okay? Makes things simple. We've got the shower tub combo right there. I love the black everything. It's very similar to the last house in terms of finishes, like I mentioned, okay? So I'm not gonna mention the cabinets and the faucets. I mean, it's all very, very similar. And you'll see it as we go. So, all right, and then if we scoot right back across the hall, we're gonna ping pong right back. We've got bedroom number 3. Now this room's a little bigger, guys, okay? So, not sure how you figure out who gets this one, but it is slightly larger. All right, it's got a little bit bigger closet door, I believe, compared to the last. So it's very good. All right, nice wide volume-esque entryway, which is very good. All right, this is a huge house, guys. It's almost 2,600 square feet. So a good size dining space over here. It's very open concept, but it's slightly compartmentalized, which I've mentioned before in other videos. You've got your dining room space, obviously, you know, right here is where it would go. You've got a massive island with no sink in the island. So it's literally like a buffet style, guys, for dinner, right? Look at that, it's huge. It's nice having the sink looking out the window here. Very cool. Now, kind of like the last house, we've got the same floating shelves. We've got a similar tile backsplash. Backsplash does go up to the height of the hood. Right up here, guys. Same electric stove. Now, there's no walk-in pantry here, okay? So the last house is a smaller home, but we could utilize, because of the setup, we could utilize that one closet as a pantry. This house, not so much. This is your pantry, these cabinets right here, okay? So it would work, of course, it would work, but it doesn't actually have a designated walk-in pantry. So I'll show you kind of a solution, potential solution to that in a minute. But let me finish showing you the great room, living room here. It's a really big room, guys. It's bigger probably in person than it looks in the video. We can't get outside. They lock us in, so we can't get you out there to see the grass. So we'll look through the window. But it's not a huge yard, guys, but if you want a big yard, let me know. We'll see what home sites are available and what's coming up, and we can always figure something out with that. But it's a nice size. It's really a good size. If you like to entertain, this is definitely a house for you to do that. You can probably put 5 counter height stools right here. Very cool. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. We love to open up the app and see that more people are enjoying our content and subscribing to the channel, and it lets more and more people, the more people that subscribe and comment and like and engage with our channel, YouTube recognizes that and they push it out to more and more people, which allows us to help more families, because more families will discover us if it's being pushed out to their pages, if you will. So just please subscribe if you don't mind. It means a lot to us. We appreciate you. All right, I like this. So we come from over there. All right. This is wide. This is like Italian job, guys. You can drive a Mini Cooper down this thing. Maybe an old one. Probably not the new ones. Maybe an old one. You're not gonna go very far because it's only wide right here, but you know, you catch my drift. All right, laundry. They do come with the front loaders again. All right, you got a nice shelf up there for your detergent, your dryer sheets. And then we've got shelving over here, okay? Quite a bit of shelving. Now, in terms of this being like a makeshift pantry, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, look, let me show you. The kitchen's there. I mean, it's like a first world problem, right? Oh my God, I gotta walk all the way to the laundry room to get my blender. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. If you have like a crock pot that you use like, 5 times a year, store it in here. You can do that. You can store it in here, If you buy, fruit snacks at Costco, 96 packets of fruit snacks, leave the box in here, put a basket over here in the kitchen with like 15 packs, and then you just refill it or something. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud here, but that's potentially a pantry type of solution for what we've talked about, all right? Now, all right, and then this is the next bathroom we're seeing. Step-in shower, fiberglass insert. We got a bench there. Not bad at all. I like it. I like what I see. I love the width of this. This is really, really nice. You can put like a little console, foyer table there or something, and it could be really cool. So, all right, guys, this is bedroom number 4. All right. Very nice, very standard and straightforward, nothing crazy. Good size closet space. I talk about different things in different houses based on what I see. And before we go into the primary, this house feels so versatile. And I'll tell you why, right? So I've said similar things before. In different houses, depending on where you're at in life, this home feels like a home for like a family. You got a bunch of kids, or even if you have an elderly parent moving in with you, like we talked about in the last house, this house has a lot of versatility. Because let's say that you're, let's say you're in your late 30s, early 40s, your parents are in their, I don't know, early 70s, I don't know, who knows, right? And they need to move in with you and stay or something, but you still have kids in the house, and maybe you have a younger child, maybe you have a baby on the way, right? This gives you the versatility of having a nursery right off of the primary, all right? I've talked about that before. I never talked about it until I had a baby, but now Sophie's here and she's doing fantastic. For those of you who have followed what I've said about her in the past, she's walking around and just the cutest thing ever, right? But it's nice having a room that's not across the entire house when you have a little one. So this is like a perfect room right off the primary for a little one, all right? So, and then older kids can be up in the front of the house. You can have an office in the front of the house and work. An elderly parent, again, can have a place up there. There's 5 bedrooms in here, guys. So let's check out this primary. All right, here it is. It's pretty spacious. You've got a nice size closet, not crazy huge, but I think it's probably big enough. All right, so that's a good setup there. This room is big. Definitely accommodate a king, a cow king, whatever. You got 2 king beds even, it would probably accommodate. So that's nice, very cool. All right, and then we've got our primary bath. By the way, guys, there are other people coming through this home to check it out, so I may stop the video and then pick it up. So if it's a little funky in that way, that would be why today. All right, we've got our wet room with our toilet right here. Linen storage in here. We've got a tiled shower, and then we've got a dual sink, large vanity with good counter space, drawers, and lots of space, guys. I'm not sure we could put here. Maybe, I don't know, a hamper. There you go. Perfect. Hamper goes right there, guys. Perfect. So, and then you could even put like a chair and a vanity or something over here. Lots of options, guys. It's a great size house. It really is. So let's keep going. Let me hit the lights as I walk back through. Leave it the way we found it. There is a 2-car garage right through here. It's locked for storage, so we're not gonna see that, but it's just a basic 2-car. And then we have a coat closet right here in the garage, just off of the garage. All right, guys, the other lookers just left. All right, so back to the video we are. just as kind of a recap, we've seen the primary, we've seen the secondary bedroom, which could be a nursery there. We've seen everything in the house. We've seen 3 bathrooms. We've seen the other 3 bedrooms in the front of the house. And I think I even showed you guys the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, the backyard, everything so far. So what do you guys think of this house? We're gonna talk about the prices here in a moment. The differences between the 2 homes are somewhat marginal in the long run if you are considering buying something. The price always matters, of course, but you know, if it's $20,000 or $30,000 over the course of 30 years, it's not a drastic difference in the payment. So we can certainly talk about that in ways to mitigate that difference if you prefer one over the other. And again, if you are looking to relocate here, let us know. We want to help you make the right move. If you want to see us drive around the community and just show you what things look like, let us know. And if you have ideas for other videos that you'd like us to create, drop them in the comments below. We want to help you guys. And let's just get to the pricing. All right, what did you guys think of that second house? Was that cool? Was it a good floor plan? Did you like the symmetry in the front and then the separation in the back? It's kind of a cool floor plan. Let me dive into the pricing and show you exactly what these things run. So I've got it right here. I don't want to give you the wrong information, so I'm just going to pull it up on my phone here. All right, guys, the first one we saw with the Nex-Gen suite, okay, that house right there is starting at, what do you guys think? Put it in the comments below. Just kidding, we don't have to get into that. That house is starting at $503, okay? That house starts at $503. I say starts at as if there's other upgrades. The only thing that would differentiate the price is if there's like a really big lot or something, the price might be adjusted slightly to compensate for that. And then you do have to put solar as well. You can lease it or you can own it. If you own it, they'll just take the 20 or 30 grand they're charging you for the solar, add it to the base price, and now the house is $533 in that case with owned solar panels. So that's one way to do it. It gets factored into the mortgage, and we can talk about solar options later. The second house we saw though, the single story, 5-bedroom, nearly 2,600 square foot house, that house starts at $528, and then with solar, it bumps us up to about $550 to $560, give or take a few bucks. However, if you like that second house, seriously, reach out to me like as soon as possible, because there is a move-in ready available. Good incentive, all of that stuff. We can work on it. It is listed at $501, guys. It's done. The builder wants to move it. Reach out to me. I'm allowed to offer that to you. So let me know what you think. If you like it, we can talk numbers and we'll go from there. Again, no pressure. There's always another house that doesn't work. Anyways, thanks again for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate all the support. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share with a friend. And until next time.